and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Acceptance of the minutes from the meeting of July 1, 2026.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from
You're right,
June
June 1.
1st at the 2026 meeting.
Okay. Questions, comments, changes, anything? Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. Okay, department head business. Who wants to be first?
I can go first.
Okay.
I wasn't here at the last meeting that I was supposed to be here with you guys. I was working late, but in the 2 months since the last time I met with you on April 21st, we've had 6 calls for service. It's been a peaceful spring and early summer. So that brings us up to 34 calls years to date, which is only 2 less than this point last year. Coming up for us in the next month, June 26th, the bicycling across New Hampshire, it's called Trans New Hampshire, Cycling to End Muscular Dystrophy. He's going to be using the fire station as a rest stop. It's something we've done for a long time. Basically, we just open the fire station up and gives them a shaded area, and then it gives them a restroom to use.
Okay.
It's a fundraiser to non-profit to raise money for to help raise money to help try to end muscular dystrophy. And then the day after, June 27th, is the North Country Showcase. I'm sure you've seen the signs around at the fairgrounds. It's where all the fire departments, EMS, police, are going to put some stuff on display at the fairgrounds. We'll be there as well, with probably 1 or 2 of our trucks, a few of our guys, just to put something on display. We haven't decided what of our stuff to bring back, but last year we brought our pickup and UTV. This year we'll probably bring something different. We'll have some stuff to give away, fire prevention type stuff.
Okay.
And then July 1st, we have the Independence Day activities that I believe you're aware of.
Here in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we'll be partaking in. And that's it.
Are you going to have a vehicle in Lancaster's 4th of July one? You have for the last several years. I just wondered if you're doing that one too.
More than likely, we
Okay.
haven't found out the details of when and where that one is. I assume it's on the 4th.
Yeah, it is on the 4th, and I believe the rallying point is going to be the same as for the last several years. Whatever the name of the grammar school is, just past Aubuchon's, behind Aubuchon's.
Yeah.
Everything sets up in there, and they line you up. You guys, I think, start someplace out on 3, and when your spots come up, then you just pull out from there.
Yeah, we might send 1 truck down to that too.
I just wondered.
Yep.
Questions? Okay. Anybody out there? Okay, thank you, Andre. You up next, Jim?
Sure. 2026, as you heard through this, we were at 176 calls for service. 2025, this date, we're at 196. Star report as of 6/12/2026 was $90,158. And I don't know what happened with that number, but that is not right. So
It's a
it's
new
nine-
number.
Yeah, $90,158.71 is what it's supposed to be. This does not include payments made directly to the office or any 2026 contract fees. A2 went out for oil change, and also they went through it. They found out it needed the main battery replaced. Also changed an air filter. A1 is still waiting to go in for the fuel leak up to noise. We're looking to get in their schedule up there. Andre already told you about the Northumberland Emergency Response Showcase. We will be there also. And I also included some information, as I've been trying to find time. June hit us pretty hard, school out and everything, so I'm working an average of 180 to 200 hours a week, just doing coverage, plus the 40 hours that I usually do. So there's 3 quotes there from 3 different places. The quotes are for concrete, were from 2 different places that got back to me. One actually stopped in and walked through it with me, the other one just did the regular phone thing, but they run between the 100,000, 150,000. And on the back is a rendering of what could possibly be, if we get that far. And again, this is all trying to fit in with the, I believe, 1.7 that you guys have, trying to stay under that whole limit and everything. Right now, we're looking at the concrete and everything.
That's higher than the last time we talked. We just gained $500,000. Did we gain $500,000?
Oh, yeah, no. It's, we're still at like 520, or just what you see here, yeah.
Okay,
So
because
we're
the
still-
total we've supposedly got is about 1.2.
Yeah, all 1.2.
Okay.
Okay. Question?
Go ahead.
Install commercial garage doors for a total of $420,000?
So that is, this company will actually, the 2 top quotes are, you order the building, they'll send somebody with a truck, we'll have to unload it out here, and that's the end of our deal with them. That company, you order from them, if you sign a contract with them, they will have a crew come up, they will unload it, check everything out, make sure it's here, they will assemble it, and they will also install all the doors and windows. And that's the
so
total price for a total install of a building.
So
Insulated,
the
yeah.
420 is for the whole building,
For the
not for the
whole-
garage doors?
No, they printed, I don't know what happened with the printer, but it,
Oh, okay.
that
All right.
line
Just
wasn't
seemed like a lot of
supposed to
money
be that
for
far
garage
away.
doors.
Oh, 6 of them.
Still,
And there's, 6 doors, commercial with all the hardware for opening, closing, and everything.
yeah, but that's more expensive than the building.
Well, well, the building's $295, it's everything all together, the $295 plus, like I said, all the doors, windows, plus the,
Right,
Garage
so the
doors.
420 is for
420
the
is a
whole building,
full-
not the garage
Yes,
doors,
yeah,
like
for
it
the
says
whole-
on this piece of paper.
yeah,
Okay,
like I said, the typing or whatever got
Right.
in the way there and screwed up. I didn't notice it until I was just looking at it.
How high are the doors that you're gonna?
So they're 12 by 14, we figured out.
12 wide, 14 high?
Yeah,
That'll for the fire truck, man.
yes.
No, it won't.
So basically, all this came about by talking with myself, Tyler, Andre was involved, people coming into the PD, we set them aside and say, hey, what do you think about this? So this is, as you can see, there's a meeting room there that actually bumps you up to a 60-person capacity. And then if you do like Stark does, the garage area will allow you to have 323 people if you wanted to do a town meeting in your own building instead of going to the high school. So.
Now, the other thing we gotta work on is insides.
The inside,
And
yep,
what that's gonna cost.
yes, yep.
Okay.
But that ends up
And I believe I also,
that ends up being at the outside about 570,000, which is a little less than half of it, if you use 150,000 for radiant heat, so.
yep,
So that's still basically substantially more money for that, but we need to nail
last page. Keep going. You got one after that?
See it.
Okay, well, it's the one after that.
Let's
Well,
see.
it's not here.
I don't think he has the picture.
Want to take a
Oh,
look?
It'd be nice to see it.
it's right there, sorry, it fell off.
Oh, you fell off. Give me back my shoes.
There's the last page, it's upside down.
That is police and ambulance, new building. The numbers there were, have the shell put up and everything else, and then figure out how much, and the concrete, and figure out then how much to go for building the rooms and everything inside. And that is a building that is 80 feet front to back and 120 feet side to side.
Did they specify what level of insulation?
What's that?
What level of insulation?
I can't remember what she told me, but when we told her what it was for, the occupancy, she said it was the highest level that they use for those buildings, so.
Highest level by who?
By, I don't know, what company or whatever they use, but,
We can get that though, we can ask them.
yeah.
Find out if it's squirt on stuff,
Yeah.
if it's similar to the stuff
Or if it's-
that Shane used.
Right.
Yeah,
In other words, the Audi building used insulating panels on the outside of the building,
yeah.
unlike the
Unlike
tool
the-
shed where they just spray it on, which means there's enormous areas where you got steel against cold metal,
Yeah,
and then it condenses and drips water on the inside, not a good thing, plus it costs a lot of money to heat.
yeah,
I believe Pine Tree was spray on.
okay, I will just check with them, but I told them that I was trying to stay away from that, so hopefully they.
No, you don't want it,
Yeah,
because it will drip water.
yeah.
Anything else for Jim?
I'm all set.
You're all set?
No,
I have a question, is this part of that grant money, we can use that for this?
You checked on that?
Yes,
The grant money is still,
this grant money is still, yes, the grant money is still usable.
available?
We still have hoops that we have to jump through. Now that we have this plan, if the board wants to move forward with one company or the other, then I have to take the plans and go to USDA and jump through their hoops, make them happy before they give us a blessing to look any further into it. But the grant money is still available to us.
Right.
We do have to move, we do have to show them some movement, or we do run the risk of it
evaporated.
evaporating.
Yes, sir.
Danny, where's this proposal gonna go? Which lot?
Right there.
Right out front of here.
Because that whole thing, pretty much up to the wall, goes with that lot out there, it doesn't go to this building,
Thank you.
okay? Got Chris?
How much grant money are we talking about?
There's 1.2 million.
And how much is this building?
The one they're talking about here with the number was 420,000 for the concrete and erect the shell for the outside and have it insulated, but that might be with the wrong insulation. No,
And none of this stuff on the inside.
So it's $520,000 for a concrete floor with radiant heat in it, and the building, the building 120 by 80 by 16 with a 12-week lead time is $259,000. For this company to cut me $295,000, sorry. I'm like trying to shrink those numbers so we get more out of the grant.
So actually, and I know we're going against the deadline, if we could do this by the end of July, she thinks she can get another 75,000 taken off of that for a discount, but I didn't wanna put that out there because I know how slow USDA is and everything, so.
because the building's getting older, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a municipality thing or something, so.
Are we looking, has one decision been made or are we looking at two possibilities?
What do you mean?
Is there only one that you're looking
Bids.
at?
No,
Bids?
no, there are 3 bids in here. Hold on a minute, I gotta get to the right page.
There's 3 bids.
That range from a low of 200,000, but that's for, we have to put it up ourselves, they do not, and it's not insulated. Another one for 265 and change, we need to put it up ourselves, and it's not insulated, and they need 6 to 8 months lead time. The first guy needed 8 to 10 months lead time, and number 3 is 295,000. They need a 12-week lead time, and they're the ones that send a crew over, build it, and that includes their insulation, which we may not want, so that would go down from that. And then the concrete and everything, it's $420, and if we want, no, that's $420 for the building, and then the concrete and radiant heating would range from 100 to 150,000 more. So we could be at 570,000 with still having 630,000 to go, which that might do the building stuff on the inside.
You're gonna have infrastructure.
Say what?
You're gonna have to have all that infrastructure done too. That's gonna be fire protected, fire sprinkler system.
Yeah.
That's not cheap. $600,000. That's big bucks.
Okay.
I talked to
Plus
Randy.
drainage and everything else, you could be talking, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't wanna put a number on
A lot of money.
it. It is, it's a lot of money.
Right, I talked to Reggie about it, you know, it's gonna cost some money to, you know, do the.
Cause we're gonna meet all the codes, it's gonna be all, you know.
Right, but, you know, there's nothing stopping it, there's
No.
no red flags, but it will require an engineering stamp.
Yep.
You know, to be done right and get the grades right, because we don't want water coming off the lot, and, you know, a lot of ducks get into a row, but it's doable, you know,
But
we
we
have.
gotta get all the numbers so that
Right.
once it
That's all I'm
crosses to
saying.
1.2, the rest of that goes to the voters. Okay,
Right.
here's what it's gonna cost you, and hopefully it comes in significantly less than.
So you say
the
here
last
comes the
was
voters,
3.8,
you're just trying to get this set up for next town meeting?
possibly,
Unless it comes under,
pardon me?
unless it comes under the grant.
Yeah, if it can all be done for under the grant,
I got you.
The
I'm
grant's
just
there.
wondering, it's not, you know what I'm saying?
the grant's there.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
So, I mean, if it came in under that, hot damn, we'd be all set. If it doesn't, okay, voters are gonna have to,
The other
decide
thing
on
from
the
our
bond
experience,
above.
I would highly recommend, it's worth the money to have somebody else take the responsibility, the equipment and everything else to put it up.
Oh, definitely,
We
yeah.
learned from this one, you do not wanna do
No.
that ever again.
That's why I got the quote from that one company to do
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
And with them also comes
Especially this building, 100 by, 120 by 80.
50-year warranty, I believe, on it also, so
How
Yeah.
long?
50-year.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Chris, yeah, you know,
On the last one, you said they needed 12 weeks,
week, yeah,
Oh,
because the others you said months. I don't
yes,
know.
and the others were months.
yep.
So this is a 3-month lead time.
Yes, sir.
If you take that number, it's a big number, and divide it by a square foot, it's not gonna be all that horrible for a price tag. This is a big building.
Yeah,
And the square footage are coming low. But it's not stick built either, you're talking a whole different material, but still, per square foot, you're right, it's a lot better than what you're hearing out there now. You don't look at the big number, you look at the square, what it really costs to build. Per square foot. Yeah, it's gonna come in reasonable.
and
Yeah.
everything that's in there is the shell. Nothing on the inside has been
Yeah, but
done.
you add that in too,
Yeah.
and divide it all there, your square footage would be low to build that whole thing.
Well, that's why we're gathering numbers now to find out. The quicker they come in, the quicker we make a decision. Eric?
And when do we have to start actually doing the building before we would lose our grant money, or is just this process keeping the grant money going?
Michelle? What
Yes.
did you find out about the grant money?
So
Is there a
we,
drop dead date?
23rd.
23rd. Okay, we got 4 years.
Because
3.5.
I know earlier we were talking like it would run out at the end of the year. And
Well, so, and what it is that where it's a USDA grant, the federal government likes to see progress. They haven't seen any progress on this. They saw the fact that, you know, there was going to be something and then it didn't happen. So thank you. So they understand. The lady who I'm working with at the USDA arena, she's explained Northumberland's situation to the people that are in the higher places than her. And, you know, has basically told them, yes, they have this grant money, but the cost is going to be more than what their voters can afford in their taxes. So they have to do things differently. So we're trying to do things differently.
Well, good luck with USDA.
And with the USDA, we will have to have an engineer, we will have to have the contractor, we will have to have the architect. And I believe the one company that you spoke to, they provide the engineer and the architect.
Project manager or whatever they call it.
So
So
that
we
number-
need to see if that's gonna fly with USDA when we go for the,
And that number you just got, Jim, has no engineering, no stamp of approval or anything? Or does that stuff come all stamped, pre-stamped? The building?
Once
Because we could be looking at more money dealing with the engineering and all that.
well, and the other thing with the USDA grant is that it has to be by America.
Correct, AIS.
So hopefully it's not Canadian steel.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
If I remember right, the original grant was, also gonna have a training center there. Is that the same, grant that they were talking about?
There was gonna be a room in there where, they could have training, ambulance and people, you know, obviously at different times. And the biggest thing that had to go in, and still does, if I'm not mistaken, is, emergency management, center.
So will that bring us money in?
One of the grants that we got was because of the emergency management center. So that's why it has to be there. And that's, gonna have its own equipment and stuff like that, communications.
Turn it into
Operator
a
out there.
dispatch center.
And then we can get rid of this.
Bring the money back to New Hampshire,
Yes, ma'am.
over here, and
If
go.
we, if we get rid of, if we build this, this would go away, and with the meeting room that's in there for their training and stuff, that could also work for this. And, they empty out the bays, that could be for town meeting.
And will there be a jail in there?
Yes, yep, that's also in there.
Okay, who's, PD's green. Well, there's something with lines in it, I don't know if that's the jail. But I'm gonna guess, yes, there's a jail.
Is there any other room available for what we possibly talked about, Michelle? As far as a dispatch center in the future that would bring money back to the Cost County?
In looking at these plans, I don't know where you would put a dispatch, if you will, a dispatch center in this building to
Okay.
bring dispatch back to
I
the
just wanted
country.
to talk.
That, this was something that fire, EMS,
Yeah.
and PD,
Well, I can understand, make room for them, I get that.
we needed to make sure that there was room in there for them.
I'm just saying that's a potential to pay that building back in a lot quicker hurry.
There is, I mean, there's gonna be storage above where they currently are.
Storage above this space here.
So-
upstairs if you want.
I mean, essentially, you could put a decent dispatch center upstairs.
Or could we even put one upstairs over the town office?
I was just
Ideally, you
looking at
would
the
want it with
options.
EMS and PD, just because if PD does bring in somebody, you have dispatch in the building to be able to watch cameras if there's something
Oh, yeah, that's where
that
it belongs.
happens in a cell, and that's the way it should be.
Right.
And there's one other problem with the second floor. That has to do with, the Americans with Disability Act.
Oh, this one,
Any second floor.
correct, you're right.
We don't wanna have to put in an elevator.
No, you're right.
Stair chair.
I don't know, I just hate to see us,
Maybe not.
because I think that money needs to come back to Cost County.
Yeah. It wouldn't be bad. But it's, right now we're seeing if we can do this one
I hear you.
and keep it someplace normal.
One more thing,
Go.
none of these numbers include a sprinkler system.
That's what I'm saying, that's why I wanted to make sure that was clear.
Right, you know, sprinkler, and if you put in a radiant heat system, that doesn't give you air conditioning, which is gonna be required for this level of office.
HVAC system and everything else is
So,
all
you
under
know,
control, yeah.
I think there's a lot of,
A lot of
the
it's
numbers
missing.
that we're looking at right now are incomplete.
Yes.
Correct, I just wanna make sure. that-
No, I'm just saying, that, you know, this is just,
I mean, just put the line in and the infrastructure we talked about could be up in the $20,000 range or more.
oh yeah, the sprinkler system's gonna be
And then add that.
$100,000 right there.
Oh, yeah?
And, you know, and then, heat pump, air conditioning, another $1.50 easy. And radiant heat, now you need a, heating source from it. There are air to water heat pump systems, but, you know, they put out about 120-degree water, and most radiant systems, minimum 140.
Okay, we'll look at all this.
Yeah, it's good though.
Yeah. And we now got PD.
Well, some news from the police department, both of our squad cars have been re-lettered up to what we believe are a little better than the last ones. Now you can see them coming from a ways away. But on top of that, we're averaging about 120 calls every 2 weeks. Lately, I've got notes here, I can read off the specs, but just try to keep track as I go so I have some information for you guys that's not off of a piece of paper. So lately we've been seeing some surge with calls for service, as to be expected with the hot weather. Kids are out playing. The kids hit it hard this year. It's good seeing all these kids in town out. I mean, I'm dealing with kids riding lawnmowers down West Street at 8 o'clock heading home because the street lights come on. Like, I love seeing it. I still gotta stop talking to them about it, but no lawnmowers after dark. But anyway, hit and runs, I've seen an increase in our local stores. So just be mindful that if somebody hits your car, do not leave the scene. If you leave the scene of an accident, your police department can no longer do a report on that. Unless it's like a hit and run type deal, you know. You come in 3 days later looking for an accident report to be done, we're not doing it because we can't. My patrol officer is averaging about 55 hours a week, just trying to keep up with calls. This doesn't include the time that is needed for thorough investigations for crimes, especially when you're dealing with sex offenses or crazy calls, you know, like that. That requires a lot of time. And right now, we're just keeping up with the calls. The phone doesn't stop ringing. I'm still putting in, myself, I'm putting in 55, 60 hours a week. When I go home, I'll probably put 45, 50 hours a week in here, and then when I go home, my phone just does not stop. All right. And then we passed our first audit with the state of New Hampshire for highway safety grant monies and other things associated with that, your speed limit signs. We have a bunch of highway safety stuff out there. They came in, audited us, and it was pretty in depth, and we passed with flying colors, so that was super cool to see. I know we should be passing them, but like I'm picking up the pieces here, so. We're stretched very thin, but we don't anticipate it to get any better. Calls are gonna keep going in. I actually have, for our non-pub tonight, I'll be introducing another officer to our board. So we're still on the road to recovery as a police department, bear with us. But we're not losing effectiveness at all. We're trying, and we'll be there when the phone rings, okay? That's pretty much what we have for updates.
So I have one thing for, and I brought it here tonight because all 3 department heads are here. The town office received a request from White Mountain Chapter of Widows Sons Charity Ride. It's a motorcycle, I believe they're doing a poker run. They're gonna be stands up at 11 a.m. in Stratford from the pavilion, and they're looking for, normally when motorcycle groups do rides like this, they have their own blockers at intersections. But here they're requesting either the police department, fire, or EMS to assist with traffic at Church Street and Route 3 and the intersection of 3 and 110, so that the groups can stay together. They're figuring they're gonna be through Groveton between 11:15 and 11:30. And the ride is August 22nd. I know it's a ways out, but I wanted to, like I said, it came in this week. All 3 members are here, so it saves me legwork.
Who's it?
White Mountain chapter of Widows' Sons. It's not
Why aren't
an affiliation that I've, what's that?
Why aren't they including the daughters?
I don't know. But I have the gentleman's contact information.
It's just a cheerleader, or is it the benefit?
We could call them and figure it out.
Yep.
Are you 3 guys okay with assisting?
Well, I'd like to call them and make sure it's not like 1% gang coming through that thinks they're gonna get a police ride.
It's not, the gentleman that called actually lives here in town.
Oh, yeah, it's a charitable ride, whatever, we'll help them however we can, if we gotta call people in, that's fine.
It's the same weekend as NASCAR.
Yes, it is. So,
Okay.
I will give this to you.
One of my cars still doesn't have lights and sirens, it's all lettered up, looks pretty, but it's completely, as far as enforcement goes, useless still.
Now that was for August or something.
Yeah, so hoping
it's
it's
done
done,
by then?
we can handle it all, we have 2 squad cars that are,
Okay.
which Nicole called them this week and gave them heck about it, it's supposed to get it done in July now, it's a nightmare.
Okay. Chuck?
Kind of signage on our road, we're getting some ATV usage on Page Hill. Those last 2 or 3 weekends, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
This weekend, it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, down the hill, gone for an hour, then come back an hour later, or maybe going for a pizza or a rack of beer, I don't know, but they don't belong there. We're missing 2 signs that I know of that have been taken down, the post is there, but signs are gone.
Are they leaving from Shelley, or
I don't, beg your pardon?
are they leaving from Shelley Road, or?
One of them has, but the rest of them I can't tell where they're coming from. By the time I get through the bushes, I can't tell.
The signs that are missing, are they ones pertaining to the?
Yeah, it says ATV prohibited. There used to be 4 of them on that road,
There used to
6.
be a bunch of them down there, yeah.
Yeah, but they're all gone.
Are those ones
Two left.
we put up, or are those ones that the ATV clubs put up to let the folks?
So PD doesn't have any signage for that, that's
No.
gonna be a PD
That's,
club.
I can reach out to him.
Okay, find out.
Pretty sure it's a week or more.
I think we did.
Yeah, I believe I remember Glenn talking about it.
Maybe the highway has some signs.
I don't know where they got them, but I know they're not there like they used to be.
They just evaporated.
ATV club is.
They do.
It's time people.
Yeah,
Pretty sure we were wrong.
well, we should check with Glenn and the ATV club and find out who's got them and get them back up there.
The signs won't stop them. If we catch them, they'll get one opportunity, point at home, don't come back.
Oh, yeah.
The second one is there's quads coming with me.
Well, I don't have a high maintained road, and
I know.
I know why, but nevertheless, it's a bitch I got and I'm gonna voice it. I'd be glad to stop them and take their keys away from them. Well, and sometimes you can't wait, you know what I mean? But
That won't help us or you, actually.
First one's a clarification. They can ride lawnmowers during the day and not at night?
No,
Okay. I just
Some of
wanna
these
make sure
kids-
didn't hear you wrong.
some of these kids are doing chores for all their neighbors,
Of course they are.
and I'm not gonna be yanking them off lawnmowers while they're trying to do their neighborly chores on
No,
West
no,
Street.
no, no, no.
But I caught one the other night, Kevin and I, the Pasaguka and I. We do foot patrols at nighttime, you'll see us out, if you see us out at like 10 o'clock at night, we're not looking for stuff, we're just doing foot patrols, because that's how it should be. And we caught one kid running his lawnmower down West Street at like, it was like 9 o'clock at night. And so I followed him on home, talked to mom, and he got the 3rd degree. And it was great, it was like when we were kids, you know, the lawn was like this. But nonetheless, if your lawnmower is on the road at 9 o'clock at night, it should be, so don't do it.
And the other thing is, you might wanna talk to some of your bicyclists, they have nothing on, I mean, maybe they can't afford the light, but reflectors would be nice.
Yeah, we're actually big on that.
Yeah.
In here, I probably have 25 initiated calls with bicyclists. E-bikes are huge.
Yeah.
Those are hard to regulate because there's classifications of them and stuff. When we've gone so far as to bring helmets to the residences, and tell parents they better put them on their kids, you know, and
I just don't wanna run over a kid, cause I can't see him.
I'm the one that's gotta go tell the parents when something bad happens.
Yeah,
It's
well-
not happening either.
Tyler, I saw one go by my place the other night, like a bean pole,
Yeah.
no protection, no nothing, that thing was doing 60 miles an hour. And he went by my father's house the other night, my father saw it firsthand too. I mean, if anything happened, that kid's gone.
I know.
But what are they doing on the roads? This other guy was following a Massachusetts trailer, headed north, right up the road. So I was wondering what the regulation, I mean, obviously, that's not even a registered vehicle.
No, that some of them have to be registered, some of them don't.
And this one's modified. I've never seen one this fast.
And that's a whole other ball of wax. And so they do get treated.
I just don't want nobody to get killed.
They're bicycles until a certain point. And once the pedal assist and the speeds they go, then it turns.
Well, this is just one of those like single little boards,
And scooters. with a-
scooters. And this thing was, I'm telling you what, it was flying.
I saw two of those today, right out here.
So I think whoever it is around here, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah, they would go into the flow of traffic, but they.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah.
The first time we have to tow one, we won't be seeing many of them out after that. It just sucks that have to come to that, you know.
Well, this one he can carry over your shoulder. If he hits anything, he's done. I'll tell you right now, he's done.
Okay. Eric?
I know last week you met with the town of Stark. How did that go?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Eric. So I went to a select board meeting last week, and they want our help for coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Can't offer it this year, we're in no position. But if
Okay.
we keep building the way we're going, things are looking good. All right, your PD, I'm not blowing smoke, we're in a good spot, and we're gonna keep going. And so if we do that, next year we'll be in a position to take Stark on, if they pay us, and our taxpayers don't bear any burden, all right?
Well, yeah, otherwise,
So
sorry,
mine-
Stark.
I refer to Mylan and Berlin as a good example, because Mylan contracts Berlin services, they pay a yearly fee. And I have to put a proposal together, which, what I'll do is I'll take all state places, stats for that area, figure out what it's gonna cost us, and then I'll add some fluff. And that'll be what they pay for us to strictly respond to Stark when they pick up the phone. Right now, they're dealing with, hey, my neighbor's drunk in my yard, I want somebody here now, and state police is in Columbia. You know what I mean? Well, you're waiting an hour. A lot of things can happen in an hour. And so, I feel bad. And so a couple residents approached us, and I said, I'm not set up for it, but I'll talk to them. And all three selectmen were like, get us a proposal, we're down. I'm like, whoa. So now I gotta do that. But, next year.
Also, talk over with Jim the way, the services for the various towns that the ambulance goes to was calculated on number of runs historically plus number of people in there. And those numbers
I mean, I think
were brought up big time.
they weigh 500 people, so
Yeah.
I can't burden them to the, we're not in the business to make cuckoo bucks, but if they can cover everything that we need to give them and more a little bit, I'm happy. And I don't wanna burden those taxpayers, I don't wanna burden my taxpayers.
But that's the important part.
Yeah,
It's gotta cover all the expenses you incur by doing it and how many calls you're there when you're not
100%.
here. So
100%. And,
that's pretty much what his fees to the towns did, and they almost all of them tripled over the last 3 years.
100%, and I can get more money from the state of New Hampshire Highway Safety, thank God I passed that audit,
Okay,
so they'll give me more money. If I tell them I acquire Stark, they'll be like, hey chief, if I apply for it, hey chief, here's 10 grand, this is for patrols. So there's an extra 10 grand for us to just run a car through there once a week, you know, so it opens the doors, it does.
okay. Just me.
With 4th of July coming up,
Mm-hmm.
are we going to have the same problem on Maple Street for their nuisance fireworks person that we've had every year? Or can we do something about it before it even starts?
Okay, that's a good question. Gotta look through the ordinances, find out what we've got for that. Andre, you may have to also talk to the individual and say, he can't shoot them off there.
Well,
There are houses there are trees all around, there's no big open space to shoot them to.
the town's ordinance hasn't been changed since last year.
which said what?
That there's no restrictions basically in town.
Didn't they have to request permission?
No,
Wasn't there
there's-
something in place that they
the
had to
town
request
ordinance-
permission?
the Town ordinance specifically outlines that there are certain days in town that there's no restrictions, so there's no permit required.
Yeah,
We
4th of
don't-
July is one, I know,
Right.
New Year's Eve is another one.
There's no permit required, but this is a highly residential area.
There he is, right there.
They shouldn't be doing it. And they've been doing it for years, and I'm tired of my car being covered with crap. I'm tired of picking shit up all over my yard.
And your child is out in the yard sometimes when it's coming at him.
Yeah, there are children on the streets.
But it's not just at night when it's dark.
How hard is that to change, to enact an ordinance where you guys sign off? That you have to either do a permit or make a radius in town, no fireworks in town, I don't know.
Oh, the first part you gotta find out is, do we, the board, have the authority to do the ordinance, or is it one of the ordinances that has to go to a town meeting? There are certain ones that have to go to town meeting for the town to decide. If this is not one of those, then as fast as one can be written up in a language that can be understood, and does what, you would need to do your job, Kyler, then, that would be all it would take.
Do look up, grab me an ordinance book. Yeah, an ordinance book.
While he's doing that, I just reached out to Amber Rock, who is part of the ATV club.
Oh, yeah.
She's doing signs in Colebrook tomorrow. She said she will be down to put signs on Page Hill tomorrow for you.
Perfect. Now, are these paper ones, or are these metal ones?
I'm gonna assume they're probably the plastic ones that the ATV clubs put out.
Until they break them.
What I think what it would be wise on the town's part would be to maybe say at next year's town meeting to modify the town's fireworks ordinance to specify that whatever you decide for whatever part of town, to not allow certain fireworks up to a certain size, like,
Blast.
allow them up to a certain size, anything, say, 2 inches or more are not permitted within, say, this part of town.
I don't know what size he uses, but I will say it is usually one hell of a good firework show.
A couple of years ago, we had two 15-foot trailers
Yeah, I know.
for, the heavy duty.
That's after
I saw the stuff.
Trump gave us all those checks.
Yeah.
Is it at the beginning of Page Hill?
Beg your pardon?
The signs, they need to be placed at the beginning of Page Hill?
I don't know, there was 2 on either end and then 2 in the middle. And there's only 2 right now, there's 1 in the middle, and I think there's 1 on one end, but
Okay.
there was 6 and now there's 2.
Okay, so, but all of Page Hill is no ATVs, correct?
That's correct.
Alright,
Our side of Page Hill is no
Right.
ATVs.
Well, there isn't any on the other side either, but it's not posted.
Right. They may allow them on their end of it, and they just gotta turn around, I don't know.
I don't think they allow them on their end either.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, what you propose, Andre, would be the best solution, but that means Judy and her husband have to, put up with another year.
Well,
Judy-
she had requested this last year.
Right.
Nobody had ever looked into it.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, it's something that needs to be addressed, I think, as a town ordinance at town meeting.
Right, excuse me, Jim?
Go.
If someone is firing off something and the debris lands on other people's property, irregardless whether it's fireworks or, I don't know, arrows, it seems to me that that should be a violation of something, because they're piling trash on other people's property. It would seem to me that irregardless whether it's fireworks or whatever, you can't do it.
Except, like problems we've got in other parts, somebody's, a neighbor's tree falls on your yard, yep, but that's a civil argument. and not a criminal argument that takes place.
Or it becomes criminal quickly.
Yes, it can, but for a different reason. Yes, sir.
I'm blessed with a lovely neighbor down south. Overflowing dumpster, trash on a state highway.
Yeah.
That's not littering. I had to take him to court, and it was all civil stuff. There was no enforcement from the state,
Yeah.
or the local police, and you're all civil.
But in this case, it's not necessarily littering, and all that, so it's like, okay. Another thing,
Well, a couple of years ago, he told the police when they went over there that he had permission from all his neighbors, and we're two of the neighbors, and he never asked us anything.
well, he had
So he
permission
just
from
flat
all
out
the neighbors
lied.
he asked.
Yeah.
Chairman of the board.
The two that he didn't ask.
Yeah.
It's disorderly conduct. It's disorderly conduct. But then the trouble lies, if you start writing people disorderly conduct for lighting off fireworks, they're a fair and impartial police department, so everybody would be getting written up when they lit off fireworks. So is that really the route the town wants to take, or do we wanna try to, make this about Maple Street fireworks? Cause if a guy on Lost Nation lights off fireworks, and his neighbor who lives a half a mile down the road complains, that's disorderly as well. Whereas if we have a small family trying to light off 3 fireworks, do they deserve a charge? It's not up to me, but the law says yes. So, moral compass and our laws sometimes intertwine, so you guys need to make sure that whatever route you take, you're happy with, because they're gonna come complain to you when we write.
Michelle, talk to Primex.
Okay.
And ask if we could allow them to use the big ball field. May not drive on it, but they can carry the stuff out. That might be big enough to hold all the stuff, other than, anything that's going up 200 or 300 feet, no, sorry, the wind will get it, and it'll blow all over God's little half acre. But, ask them if that could be covered through the insurance. And then it could be quote the town one, if somebody wants to do it and say, no fireworks allowed at the house.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
When I was a kid growing up, probably no one else is that old in this room, well, maybe one of us. But we, the town of Littleton, every year had fireworks at the big ball field. Every single year, so maybe even if this is private, it could be done at the ball field.
Well, right now, the town doesn't have the money to put on the fireworks
Yeah.
show, so if somebody volunteers to do it,
Yeah.
then that would be fine, but it's a
That would
matter
make
of.
it easier for the neighbors and the debris, and have to clean up the debris.
But we just need to know if, we're covered insurance-wise, or if we're not, then it can't be done there.
Yep.
Not gonna take that on.
If debris causes a fire on somebody's property, which very well could happen.
Yeah.
When does that become a problem?
That becomes a problem for,
And they're not calling it littering?
it wouldn't be called littering,
I'm just asking.
arson's a little strong, but there might be an arson level 3 or something like that.
I call it reckless conduct.
Right,
But I mean, they would.
definitely reckless.
The one who set off the fireworks would be
I
liable.
mean, you guys all said the right thing.
Yeah.
You don't have the room to throw that stuff up in the air where he is.
No,
Why
on
would
that
I?
street.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric.
And doesn't the town already have some type of fireworks ordinance where you can only supposed to light them off like on the 4th of July or New Year's Eve? I thought I had
Fourth
read
of
that
July,
before.
New Year's Eve, and there may be 1 or 2 other dates, but I'm not positive on that. But yeah, that's the only time you're supposed to do it, and they're talking mostly in there about sparklers and little things that go up maybe 20, 30 feet in the air, not something that's, way, way up there and puts out a pattern that's, 60 feet across. It's like, excuse me, that's not backyard fireworks, or not supposed to be.
And the Maple Street one isn't the only one, because one year we watched them on Maple and we watched them on there, it was almost like they were competing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love fireworks,
Yeah.
they're beautiful. Does he do a good job? Yes, but not there.
Yeah, not that close to my house. And I don't blame you on that one, I don't want it that close to my house.
I sure don't wanna get called on fire.
No.
Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ordinance does specify it's Memorial Day, July 3rd through the 5th, Labor Day, and New Year's Eve from 5 p.m. to 12:30 after midnight, that they're allowed without a permit. So, any other time you're required to have a permit, and I brought up one of my copies of the permit, I made a permit a couple of years ago, and on the permit, I put in some of the New Hampshire RSAs, and it does reference New Hampshire RSA 160:C:7 civil liability, where it does specify New Hampshire RSA where if you do damage to either your own property or your neighbors, then you are civilly liable for that.
Yeah, if you do it to your own property, you're just called dumb.
Yeah.
If it's your neighbors, then you're civilly liable.
So like in this permit that you have to get outside of those days, it brings your attention to New Hampshire law where if you do damage to your neighbor's property, you are liable.
Anyway,
So
it might be good if, I know the ordinance says we don't. What does the front of that ordinance say? Or down towards the bottom? Is there a caveat that the Board of Selectmen can, change it? Because we may want the permit to go out simply so that people know, if you do damage, this is the RSA that says you are now civilly liable.
it does say any person who violates this ordinance in addition to and penalties prescribed in New Hampshire RSA 160-B and New Hampshire RSA 160-C, which is the same ones I've referenced, shall be subject to a fine of $50 for the first offense and $100 for each subsequent offense, and the confiscation of fireworks in person's possession.
So that's state at that point, so, they would say they don't need a permit, but it might be good if, that information gets out somehow, that, yep, you may not need a permit, but if you damage, anybody's property, you are liable for it.
But that still means that you can't call the police.
That's right.
Right, so civil liability thing.
That's true.
We need, if you guys contact us so we can deal with it, then it needs to be either an ordinance, there's nothing criminal. It's like, have fireworks until you want, and then when you burn somebody's car or house down, they can go after you civilly for the 4 years it takes in court, and then, however that works out. But if we enact something where Chief Kennison or Officer DeLuca or the next officer can run up there and they cut it out, then that works a lot better.
That should be defined.
Let us check and see on the big wall, so we can find it. Okay,
Right now.
very good. All right, next on here, 4th of July parade. Okay, this one was sort of rushed. The person honchoing it wanted it in, so this was done with a blind CC email to the 3 folks up here. And they responded back to Michelle, all with yeses. So I signed it, Michelle signed it, and gave them permission to have it, and now we're just gonna make it a formal vote, since we all basically said yes. He didn't wanna wait until this meeting because it needs to go to DOT to get the permission too. So he was in a rush, and they don't generally speed up.
Isn't it supposed to be on July 3rd?
July 1st.
First. Yeah, day of event, first. 4:30 PM, rain day of July 2nd. Yep,
So we were interfering with the other towns that are doing stuff,
Correct.
because we have a lot of towns that are doing stuff.
but on the 4th.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the clock, yes.
Yeah. Well, this is what, Jeremy came up with, so,
What time?
4:30.
4:30.
Kathy, the reason why is that's also the day that I believe the rec center is doing their
swimming party or something. And so they were gonna do it, so went straight from the parade to the festivities at the small ball
Okay.
field. And then,
Are they doing their fireworks at night too?
I believe so.
Need a motion, Jim?
Yep.
Make a motion to approve the parade on July 1st.
Yep.
To the rain date of July 2nd.
Correct. Okay. Anything from out there? Okay, motions are made and seconded, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nobody, so, that's already been signed. Okay. Okay, we got a road toll request from the high school for incoming senior class. And the only problem on this, and did they send anything back, Rami?
For another weekend,
Yeah,
second page, I think I highlighted her answer. She said that they've held it on that weekend several years.
right, they've done it a few times in the past. The weekend they're wanting to do it on Church Street is Labor Day weekend. And there's going to be a lot of cars on here towing trailers and going up on Fridays and coming back on Sunday or Monday, depending upon what the weather's like. And I do not think we need a traffic blockage of folks trying to collect money then.
I think they wanna do it on Friday.
Yeah, that's one of the big travel days to get to your summer place, and it's like, that's not the time to do it. Yes, sir.
As a construction companies, on a major holiday, all big rigs will be off-road by noon on Friday and not go off to Monday. So that reinforces your point. They shouldn't be on the road during a major holiday.
Yeah, and I mean, they stand out in the middle of the road. I'm not in favor of it on Labor Day weekend.
I agree with you.
It's a busy time of the year, no question about that.
They can ask for another weekend, yes, but that one, I'm gonna say no. Nancy?
Jim, I think that, at one point, I think it was when I was on the school board, that there was a certain time that all road requests, toll requests,
Yep.
was supposed to be put in, and if they were not put in a normal amount of time,
Yep.
they could not do
They
it.
could not do it. The thing is, I guess last year, this is the only road toll request the town got. I mean, when I was on the board and when we put that in, we were getting 8, 10, 12 requests, and some of them 2 and 3 times for the same entity.
Right.
And it's like, no. We limited it, I believe, to 10, no more in a given summer or season, whatever you wanna call it. And it's now down to last year, was just the one, right, Rami?
For this year, for 2026, the ladies auxiliary had one, and that's the second one.
Okay.
I did
That was
ask if they had any more dates for the following school year, and she said no.
So, they can pick another one. And basically, I'd say we'll need a motion to deny it for that weekend, but not to deny it permanently. They can pick another weekend.
I make a motion that we deny it for that particular weekend, but allow them to request a different time.
I'll second that.
Any more from out there? Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. Okay. Where's the 5C, letter of concern?
From Dustin.
The only thing,
It's an email.
it's an email, the only thing I got here is a 5D, which isn't even on here.
I might have mislabeled them.
Let me see if they're stuck together. Nope.
I labeled one D, then mistake in the labeling. Yeah.
7. I do not see a 5C letter of concern.
Does that say 5D?
This says 5D.
I believe that's the letter.
Okay. As we discussed earlier, here is a letter of concern and request for procedure in reference to the water project taking place on the hill. I am writing this as a captain on the Groveton Fire Department and emergency responder that takes safety seriously. I understand that normal travel routes may be affected at times during the project, resulting in occasional road closures due to the work. Keep in mind, most of the streets on the hill have 2 entrances. Many times this year, I have witnessed both entrances being closed, eliminating any way in or out. I consider this unacceptable, as at least a single lane in-out should be maintained at one entry point. These closures and temporary detours should be relayed to the emergency departments in case the fire, EMS, or PD needs to respond to a residence. Time is crucial in the event of an emergency, and the backtracking to find a way in can be alleviated with communication. As a resident of Crow Hill Street, I have been affected by this and have often not known how to get to my residence or have had to wait 15+ minutes to get off the road. When needing to leave, I am prioritizing the safety and response times of other residents by requesting that closures be communicated to us and that at least one lane of traffic is maintained whenever possible. Okay, when this project was first started, people were told that there would be road closures up there, and at times the road completely would be closed. And if you needed to leave during the day, to park your car elsewhere than at your home. I'm sorry if this individual did not get that, or if it's a problem. As far as police, fire, and ambulance getting to a particular house for whatever reason, as an emergency, on a street that's closed, there are what are called front lawns. And they can drive over them any darn time they want. Because I know what they do in the city of Boston. You park in front of a fire hydrant. Your windows are broken out when they need to hook up to that hydrant. And it's called tough. They can go across the front lawn if that's the only way that they can get to the house 3 down, because the street's closed, because the road doesn't exist. It's all dug up for water and sewer. They'll get there any way possible. That's part of your job, right? You may not want to, but if it's the necessary thing to do, whatever.
There are some instances where you can't just drive across the front lawn because the front lawn is geographically impossible to get across. Someone's house is on fire, you're gonna delay us getting to their house burning, because we can't get to it, then what's your answer to that?
I know we have steel plates up there and they're always available and we would never allow that
To
not
throw
to
a steel
happen.
plate across a trench, I'm not gonna drive across that, just because when it gets thrown, just.
You got fire hoses, go across.
Yeah, I mean, we have fire hoses, we got 1,000 feet of 4-inch hoses, we got probably 1,000 feet of.
I'll help you
backflow,
pull it.
but still, that's gonna delay.
I don't think this is about anything of that nature other than somebody's got a new Corvette.
Well, no, there's been a few times.
And the bottom line of that is, his utilities are on Prospect Street. He's got a whole backyard. I thought this was done improperly, you waited for a while, you were gone, and I don't respect that at all. It's insubordination.
But at the same time, how many times have the streets on the hill been closed, and you know how many times I've been notified this summer?
I know.
Once.
They come down every morning and give a report. Kevin McKinnon comes in faithfully, doesn't he?
Well,
It's their job, not my job anyway. I'm sticking up for them because I know they've been doing a very diligent job. This project had to be done, this project needed to be done, and I'm sick of the whiners. I really am.
I understand, it definitely needs to be done, but there's some, I think.
And in this case, what they were talking about, they were blowing up, you know, and what happened was, I think a sewer line collapsed from that explosion, so they were trying to get that repaired. Well, we had a bigger problem. I think that's what that day was. I don't know, I was brought into this late. But again, it's not my deal anyway, it really is. We have signs all over that hill. I mean, all over that hill, it's just like the freaking transfer station. People don't acknowledge it. I know personally on my own time, I've gone and sent emails to these people, letting them know in advance that park your car down here.
Yep.
I mean, you know what? We can't hold everybody's hand, sorry.
Or park your car in the neighbor's yard, or the neighbor parks.
I guarantee you, if there was a problem up there, we would make sure that personnel would get through there.
Yeah.
We have the equipment. But I was just upset about that, not you, I was just upset about how that was done. Thinks I'm gonna throw it under the bus.
I got one question for the water department, sir.
Yep.
The project seems to be going great, and I talk to those guys out here all the time, you
Yeah.
guys. One day, I had somebody come in and tell me they're blasting up there, and I had no friggin' idea. And that would've been kinda neat, and I think we figured it out and everything's okay.
Yeah. No, I heard about that too.
I'm like, they're doing what?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it was posted.
I dropped the ball, I
It's
did not
okay.
call you, Kyler.
It's okay.
No, that's why I'm sticking up for
Now
them,
I just
because-
talk to them every day, I'm like, hey
Yeah.
guys, what are we doing today?
Well, I can tell you, the blasting's all done, there's no more blasting at all.
They were chill, they were cool.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is you can tell people until you blue in the face, it don't matter.
Well, they're gonna blast them out, they gotta get the project done. I was like.
No, you're right, no, I mean, we were posting that, that is critical, we want people to know if they hear a loud bang or.
Because they call me, they're like, oh, what's going on up here? I don't know.
Yeah.
When Kevin comes in and lets me know that there's a road closure or the blasting, I've been putting it as an alert across the page, the front page of the website.
Right, we've been trying, that's all I'm saying.
If it doesn't change and there's not an alert up, it's because Kevin has not been in to tell me any different.
Bill?
I was under the assumption that Kevin was just gonna message me direct, because that's how it started out as.
So there's no
and just-
I got no idea on that one.
No.
Well, that's how it started out as, and that's what I was told that how it was gonna happen, but it ended, it stopped happening rather quickly.
Do you see Kevin?
I see Kevin every day, yeah.
Can you tell him to?
Yeah,
Message?
I mean, he's gonna start coming next month for the meetings.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's why I'm a little upset, because I'm telling you, we deal with the same individuals all the time, and you can tell until they're blue in the face. And these people are trying to do very good diligence. I'm sticking up for them, I really am, because they've been doing a hell of a job. And we're getting this done, and the townspeople are gonna be very happy when it's done. I just don't understand sometimes the rational thinking, I don't. But I will, I'll talk to you
first. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I have no dog in this fight, but I would like to ask a question. Go directed to you, question directed to Jim. If your mother was in that street and had a heart attack, would you want the road blocked where the ambulance couldn't get into her?
It gets in.
It gets in.
It gets in.
That ain't what the guy just said.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You hear it one side.
Please don't yell.
I'm sorry for yelling. I'm saying there's one side to a story all the time. You should know that, Bill.
I don't know that doesn't say I have no dog in this fight. I don't live up there. I'm
No.
not keeping up with
No, but you're right. We care for our
I'm listening to
residents.
both sides tonight.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. But I can guarantee you.
Everybody was warned months before the project started. Make your plans.
But if it's an emergency,
If it's an emergency.
your mother has a heart attack,
Yeah,
that's not a pre-warning that you can give.
it's not a pre-warning that you can give, then I drive the ambulance over the hill, and if I can't go over the hill one way, I go through another way. Yes, it's gonna wreck somebody's yard. Tough, and you figure out to pay that later on. But you get through. Some of those streets, the equipment was there. What do they call that, big cage thing?
Oh, that's the box, trench box.
The trench box. They put that, it's laying by the hole, which is blocking up the other side of the road. Rather than keep it further down, and then they've gotta go get it and drag it down with the damn digger, and do it that way. It's like, no. The service departments will get in there.
But I rest the case after what
Okay.
we're saying. In a case like that, minutes, not minutes, but seconds count.
Yeah. Hold on, he was next.
So, you can put on the website, post it or not, if you get 3 whistles, then 2 whistles, it's gonna be a boom.
We didn't have whistles, cause the explosions weren't like that. I mean,
You didn't have
they
to
were
do it?
very low controlled, yeah, they were all covered.
Every time I had a guy, we always.
No, it wasn't the old days. We had to come controlled and they were all matted up, so it was right on there. I mean, the explosion was a poof.
No, but they didn't notify with the
Well,
whistle?
well, the only ones that were up there were us, so they made sure we were active.
Well, down south, we have 3, 2.
A lot more
It
population.
was very low level. There was no great big booms. They were very little muffled ones, and
They weren't on Cumberland either, they were pretty quiet considering.
Cumberland didn't have hardly
Last
any.
year,
Yeah.
we had to be.
Crow Hill had blasting.
Yeah, Crow Hill, First Street, and Grandview.
And Grandview at the,
And I will say, it's all done, they're out of town, it's over, thank you.
anybody else? Jim?
So to answer your question, Bill, which I'm glad you brought that up, because it actually did happen. We had a lady have a heart attack on Pike Street. Our protocol is we go up by where Jody Perigee used to live and cross there, because this person lives at the top of Pike Street. To load an ambulance, it's easy to let the cot go down into the ambulance than trying to load a person up a hill. The person that was driving was a little kerfluffled because he came upon the close sign, but he was able to back down the road and then go the other way. We did have to tune the fire department for extra manpower to push a 250-pound person up the hill to get into the ambulance. But, you know, like you said, there is a way, we do find a way to get around it, but yeah, it did add a little bit more time than I would have liked, because it would have been easier load going downhill, but.
Cause I've been one of those guys that lifted that 250-pound guy.
Yeah,
down, so.
But it has happened, so, but yeah, every minute does count.
It does, I totally agree. Cool.
Okay. Next, town emails. Proposal is that all emails for the town employees that have town emails, the names are gone, or will be gone. That's what I'm proposing. There will be nothing left with ebrown.northumberlandnh.gov, anything. That will be their job. That way there will be no future arguments that, well, that's my email, not yours. No, it belongs to the town, it does not belong to the individual. And so it will be similar to what Kathy's got, tctx at northumberlandnh.gov, or dtctx for Mel. Not sure what yours is right now, Rami, but there will be one for the financial person. There will be one for Michelle. There will be one that's going to be like Chief PD, Chief FD, Chief AMB.
I don't think we can do that for PD.
With the PD, we cannot do that for officers, because when they are sending stuff into the portal,
yeah,
it has to be their name, because they're communicating with judges.
It has to be
through
their
the
name.
portal.
Then why can't they, can they use a, that's not coming from their email address here. It's coming through a special portal.
It goes, so they send it from their email address in the PD into a portal. The judge goes into the portal on their side, gets the email,
Okay, so
looks
they can,
at it. So for officers, they have to be named emails for them to use that
so
portal.
for the police, we can do that. The same thing for up here. We're not gonna have selectman 1, selectman 2, selectman 3, because that may all change next year.
Yeah.
And you'll be flip-flopping everything all over the place. That way there'd be no changes for any of the other positions, because whoever holds the position uses that email. And when and if they leave, whether they be under good terms or bad terms, makes no difference. The email address belongs to the town. Town can still get into it and check any historical stuff or archive stuff that they need. Yes, in the back.
If I put email, is there a time limit for staff to get back to you?
Say what?
Is there a time limit for staff to get back to you on email?
What do you, I'm not,
If you ask a question or they want information from the town,
yeah?
is there any time limit for them to get back to you?
No, there's no time limit, other than, if you're asking under a, 91A, request, then, they have to get back to you within 5 days.
Yes, you have to acknowledge the request within 5 days.
Yeah.
So if I call and complain with the highway department,
Yeah.
they have to get back to me within 72 hours with a game plan to fix them. That's no extra law.
The highway department within 72 hours?
If you
For
have
what?
a pothole or something, or a major problem on a public road,
Okay,
they need to acknowledge it and come up with a game plan. They don't have to fix it, but within 72 hours, they need a game plan.
and that is for, municipalities or just the state?
Municipality and state.
And which RSA says that?
I'll find it for you, want.
Okay, if you would, please. Can you check with Glenn? Make sure. And if he's gotta respond in that length of time, then fine. And if he can't give you an answer because he doesn't have a plan of attack for it, hopefully he'll tell you that. That
Well, that's a
I don't have
response.
one.
That's a response.
Yeah,
It's a response.
yeah. Okay, but, so PD will stay with names.
In the town office, Kathy has Kathy Wiles or Kay Wiles. And then there's also the town clerk tax collector one.
K Wiles will go away.
What we'll have to do is we'll have them
Yep.
forward all of that mail. I know Rami has some stuff that is with the deputy clerk, tax collector email from before she made the transition.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to kind of pick stuff out of there and get that stuff taken care
The
of.
emails are used as logins with a lot of state and government,
Reggie's got it.
You don't need to change this tomorrow or anything like that. It would be good if it was changed by the end of this month, which gives you time to work and get all those bugs worked out of it. But that will solve some of the problems that the town has had. with
What
folks.
exactly are the problems, Jim? I'd love to hear it.
It's my email.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
It's not the individual's email. It is the town's. All of it belongs to the town.
I understand that.
So,
I'm not sure about like our highway and water sewer guys. Those all end up.
the only ones I believe in, highway for email is, Glenn.
They all
They all have, every
Why do
employee
you all
has.
have emails?
When a safety meeting comes out, or a job order or something comes out, or, it's our communication. Basically our job orders.
Why aren't they just getting notified with a text message? That's not email.
No, it was set up before I got here, every employee
Right,
has
I
an
mean,
email.
that's just the way it was, but you're right, I mean, text.
Jim, I even have one as trustee of trust fund,
Supervisor's checklist.
yeah, that one.
It just seems like it's too much, and there have been two now where it's my email, and it's like, damn it, it's not your email. Yes,
When I was in Barrington, we had the same problem. Law departments had personal emails they use for town business. And we got rid of all of that, and everyone got a New Hampshire government email.
That's what we had.
So that's what, you can use it for a town
.gov.
there, so if anything happens, you have to release that information.
Correct.
You can't go have someone's private email because they're doing town business on private.
And that's when Tammy did all that, because there was some of us back in the day that we had to create our own emails.
yeah,
And then when Tammy come aboard, she goes, no, we can't do that for liability reasons. So she made up all those with .org, and then we went to .gov.
Right.
right, but with your name on it,
It gets erased when you leave.
but they can keep them open for a certain length of time, in case there's any information that the town needs, and that's where the problem is coming in. A lot of people believe, well, that's my email. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's the town's email. Eric?
They can have mine.
The reason that it needs to be open and people, when you leave the job and it's in your name, it's not your email, is because I can do a public record request on any emails received by any public employee. That's why it's important that these things be available even after somebody leaves or they're saying it's theirs.
Yep.
It's not, it's public
Correct.
information,
Right.
so everybody needs.
As long as the town, not the individual.
Right.
Could you maybe back up a step, make everybody that has an email sign some type of waiver that states right in it, when you no longer have your position with the town, you must turn over your password,
That's already in the policy, personnel policy.
and that email is the town's.
'Cause
But
we have
even if it's in the personnel policy, not all your employees know it. Make them sign for it.
They sign for their personnel policy. Although we haven't been going by any of the ordinances anyway, so.
I mean, that right there, I think would,
I mean, honestly, now everybody comes in and
Take care of that
negotiates their
issue.
own terms. We're not following the personnel policy at all, so.
What aren't we following now?
Well, right now, we're not following the way probationary periods go for job classifications. We're not following a lot of things right now, Jim. We've been put into a corner with positions, we're just hiring people.
Okay.
We are, Jim, and you know
We'll talk about it.
it, okay?
Yes, sir.
The biggest problem I had when I was a selectman, I'm not the brightest person. The defense came in, well, this is so you've been doing forever. I said, well, I read A, B, C, and you're not following it. If it's the way you're gonna do it, change it A to C. Make it so it works. That's why you get misled over years, you change the ways and stuff, so sometimes you gotta rewrite it. Just because they're doing different today, is it right or wrong, it was put in the memorandum, that's how you do it.
Have you been raising your hand, Chuck?
I have.
Okay, go ahead.
Emails, when I go onto the website and I'm trying to email one of you guys, and I don't see a direct link. In other words, I go to selectmen, but I don't see, Al's says he's selectman, but no one else, and it doesn't give me a link to just hit it and go right to email. I wanna send you a message, or all of you a message, I would think there'd be a link in our website that would allow us to go directly to email.
I'm not a computer person, I've got no
I'm
idea.
not good, but
So,
I get in
So
here.
the emails are not hyperlinked,
They're not, okay.
They're not.
no.
Yeah, well, could they be or should they be?
I can look into doing it. Rami and I have been trying to systematically fix problems with the website, update things with the website. It's one of those things where we have a lot going on and the
I realize
website's
that.
kinda down here, but
Yeah.
certainly we do
Getting back
work.
to the point is, if we have a website and someone anywhere in the United States wants to get hold of someone, they go to our website and then they can't communicate because there's no link to an individual.
Mhm.
Just would make things a lot easier for
Yep,
everybody.
we'll look into turning the email addresses into hyperlinks.
We'll consider what I said about the emails. It won't go into effect right away. Go ahead.
Now you open a can of worms up. If I start emailing all three of you, I'm forming a opinion group. You got a quorum going, so you have an illegal meeting. So it needs to be filtered through someone or something. You just can't get a couple, two or more people involved.
Run that again?
But if I'm talking to two selectmen or three, and we're going back and forth email, you were a former illegal, non-public meeting.
No,
Informational only.
no. If you email us and we respond back to you individually, the only one who's getting 3 responses is you.
Right.
We're not responding with each other, we're not talking to each other, we're each giving you our individual response. That is not an illegal meeting by us. It's the same thing as a blind CC. Even though you sent the same question to all 3 of us, it went on.
No,
Even
if there's any communication between you guys.
As long as there's no communications between us to respond to
Right.
your email, then there is no illegal meeting.
Or no conduit,
Pardon me?
or no conduit.
Right, or yeah, we can't talk to somebody else to tell, I can't talk to Rami to tell him my response to your email. But yeah, other than that, no, that's not an illegal meeting.
We're gonna table this until the next meeting?
Yeah.
or-
We'll do that, so we can keep going. Oh God, heating fuel bids, oh.
We have to have a motion for that to table?
No.
Okay.
So you don't have, a bid before you. What I'm coming
Oh.
before you to ask
Oh.
is that I have been in touch with,
Patty Brown.
Patty Brown, thank you. I've been in touch with Patty Brown. Patty Brown and I talked several months ago
Yep.
about getting back to the point where the school and the town worked together with, not just heating fuel, but other instances where we could bulk buy. Patty has it set up where she's literally calling 5 or 6 different distributors on a daily basis to find out what their costs are. And she is looking for, permission from the board that if she, hits this distributor on this day and she can get it for $1.50, but it's for this day, that she doesn't have to wait until the next board meeting to get approval to do this fuel bid.
So we've got to give them permission to negotiate that fuel. Want to do that?
Because we would be bulk buying with the SAU. For not just heating fuel, but for Reggie's propane as well.
Yeah.
Does that not impact the agreement that we have to put out so many bids? I'm presuming still. To have just one person say, okay, this is it. When the fact is, there may be other 2 sources that would be better.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and it would be against that policy. But the problem I have more so is we've got town government. We're the big boy in the group. We use more of the stuff than they do. We got more buildings.
Actually, it's not just the school here in Groveton, she's buying for the entire SAU.
Yeah.
So they actually use more fuel than we do.
I would say, when she's calling, you should be tied into the phone call at the same time, rather than putting it out and letting her make a decision right then and there for everybody.
Okay. I just wanted,
Quickly if we need to.
Yeah, and you can respond really fast at that one. That falls under your bailiwick, you can do that.
okay,
And you really don't necessarily need a call from us. If you've got a few seconds to do it, okay, fine. Yell at Romney to call us on the phone and
I
one by
basically
one,
just
so.
wanted to make sure that you guys were cool with this, because I know in the past, it's been the town and the school going out for these types of bids, along with insurance as well.
Exactly.
And Patty and I have already talked about, looking at insurance, but that's another leaf for another day. But I wanted to get back to the time where the town and the school worked together
We can
in
do
these
that.
types of matters.
We can do that on
So-
the electricity and fuel, stuff like that. The insurance companies generally give you January to December. And of course, the school mucks that up because they go July to June. Which means for us, we'd be using 2 years worth of pricing in there. Insurances I'm not so positive I would be interested in unless it came out to be one hell of a big savings.
And I agree, but we do need to look at doing something outside the box with insurance.
We may need to do that, but I might suggest give a phone call to Jess Sear, the town manager in Lancaster, do the same thing to Mr. Stevens, or whatever, Stephen maybe his first name, up in Colebrook, because I believe they all work on January to December 31. On January, December 31. Okay, if we can merge insurances that way, at least we're all working in the same year.
Okay.
And ask them, even talk with Berlin, Gorham.
Berlin is June, July to June.
Okay, we're screwed up. Because they're a city, I guess, Gorham and the other ones will probably be the same as us. But any of the towns, see if they've got better deals, and who they're dealing with, and, so that, we can come up with something to, cut some bucks off of there.
Well, basically, I just wanted you guys to be aware that this was the road we were going down, and if you had any problems with it, to bring it forward.
Okay, C, town truck CDL testing. Okay, what that pertains to, because you two don't know about it, okay, is, the sanitation department asked, if, an individual that works for the water department could use one of the town trucks for a CDL test, the driving portion. And he said it would be good to have another CDL driver, even though the person from the water department doesn't require a CDL for his job. But he would have the license so that if in the middle of winter somebody was out sick, or somebodies were out sick, he could drive a plow truck. Or he could drive the truck for Paul to over to Arvid to take over the plastic bottles and any of the other stuff that needed a trip there. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it, but brought it up to these two guys too to decide, do we want to let them do it? And somebody said that they would both have to be on the clock at that point. And I went through the personnel stuff, and I don't think they have to be on the clock for that, because there's other things in there that, for them not to be, and using town equipment, such as when they can borrow it to use it at their home, and that's in the personnel policy. We damn well better not be having them on the clock when they're driving it at their house to do whatever they requested permission for and got it, the permission. They should not be on the clock for any of that stuff. If they are, then that whole borrowing of town equipment ends, as far as I'm concerned.
I think the problem that you're gonna run into is that if they're on their own property, then their homeowners is going to cover them if something happens to that piece of equipment. But if that piece of equipment is driving down the road with 2 employees in it, their homeowners isn't gonna cover it.
Right, and their homeowners isn't gonna cover it while it's on the road between where they picked it up on the town property to their property. So you still have the same problem.
But the motor vehicles would cover it.
Cover this one too.
It's a town-owned though, not a personal vehicle towing a piece of town equipment. So that you would be under your personal bubble.
Not if you're driving a town vehicle, you're not.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
If you're driving a town vehicle.
And if they're driving a town vehicle from town property to use it on their property, it's not covered then either. So, either this is not a good idea and we say no, or it is a good idea and we say yes. And chime in.
What's the amount of time that someone would have to be using a vehicle like this? Do they need to have 50 hours of practice with 2 people in the cab, or do they just need to take it?
They need to take the test, and the question comes up, is the test given in Berlin? Is the test given in Twin? Or is the test given at Concord?
The test is gonna be, from what I understand, the test is gonna be given in Carroll, and I've already reached out, and Troop G no longer has instructors that will come on site to give the test, because I looked at that as an option.
When you say Carroll, it's Twin,
Twin on.
the state.
It's 2 hours down and 2 hours back. We're talking about 4 hours here.
No, Carroll, to get to Twin is 1 hour, 45 minutes actually, and then, back here, and then whatever the length of the test is.
Right,
so you probably 4 hours.
At the outside,
Yeah.
4 hours, okay. It's customary in the business world, which I'm not up to date how it happens in municipalities, but it's customary to let someone use a vehicle to take the test, okay? If they're gonna get a CDL that's appropriate for that vehicle. If it's a B or an A or whatever it is. If we're only looking at 3 or 4 hours for a test, I don't think it's a big deal. If we're talking about going out and practicing for 3 weeks ahead of time, 10 hours a week, that's a whole nother ballgame, but I just didn't understand that.
But the job description, the individual who will be taking the test does not require a CDL license.
And
That's
also,
the other
4
kicker.
months ago, this was brought before the previous, at least 4 months ago, this was brought before the previous board, and the previous board denied it. At that time, it was brought,
To me,
can I, it was brought to the previous board because the department heads found out that this vehicle was gonna be going to Concord without their knowledge to take this test. The problem that I'm having here is that the department heads, again, did not know that this request had been made because the proper chain of command had not been followed. The department heads were not notified, and this request went directly to the chairman of the board.
Okay, so we don't know where we stand now. I think we table this until we get more information, and then we review it again when the department head gets a chance to chime in.
You agree? Okay. We table it.
I have a quick question.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't have a problem with this, but if you're gonna let town employees take a test, me as a person, I hold CDLA, I have to spend $8 grand to go to school now. If you allow a town employee to take a test for his job and for the town, you should have, he's retained, employment in the town a year or so. So you can't give out licenses and then people take off.
We've tried that before, and other towns have also with, especially the police department, when we send them to, the academy, and that's for 24 weeks, I think now. Send them down there, and we pay them their salary while they're there, we pay them travel to and from there each week, so they can come home on the weekends. And when we try to put a contract out that's enforceable, the lawyers all go, nope, you can't enforce that. It's slave labor if you do. It's like, it's not slave labor. Eric, you got the first.
Just point on that, I'm in favor of letting the town employee use the truck. When I got my CDLB, I worked for a company, they needed drivers, they offered out to people who were willing to learn how to drive the truck, and they paid us for every hour we were learning how to drive and for using the truck to go take the test. It benefits the town, I believe, in the long run, for 4 hours to get somebody that's qualified CDL that can fill in for somebody, and we don't have to hire another person to have that opportunity.
Okay, good. Anybody else, hands? Oh, Chris?
If you do this, from what I read on here and what you said, he's gonna look at, apparently, this is indicating he's already got the training, he just wants to use the truck. However, if he does, then once he's got a CDL, who's gonna pay for his med card every 2 years? Is the town, does this town require that they're in a drug and alcohol testing?
My departments don't require it. That's not my budget.
Not in your budget, I mean.
And then once you get, I mean, the whole thing is where are we on the transfer station part-time attendant? They're gonna need a CDL license.
Yeah, they will, and that's in.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, are we
Yeah, right.
looking for somebody adamantly for that, or are we just gonna take somebody out of another department?
The head of the sanitation department came and made the request to me.
Well, he's working his butt off too, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm just asking a question, is that actively out there right now?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Looking for
we
the
have one
part-time.
application.
Yes.
It came into.
Because I don't find anybody wanting to get better themselves, I don't.
No.
I mean, cause this individual and I had a talk and I'm all for it, I am. But it's just following the proper protocol so we don't open up can of worms for future employees. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I got a question. Who pays for, Paul's, medical check? You gotta have what, every
It's in
year?
the,
2
it's in the
years?
budget, I'm sure.
It's in his budget.
Cause that's a town entity.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you have to have that,
They go every
Every year or
2 years.
Every 2 years,
2 years.
depending on your blood pressure. If you have a high blood pressure or diabetes, something like that, it can be up to every 3 months, depending on your medical conditions.
And
You have to
then,
have a waiver from the state.
Yeah, and you have to be checked more often.
Andre, you got your hand up? Okay.
Just for what it's worth, the state of New Hampshire, they'll pay to put their employees through CDL training. But when it comes to testing, they'll pay their employees on top of allowing them to use a truck. And they'll pay another employee to go with that employee to go.
Right, because
get
the
the
first,
test.
the employee needing the test can't drive the truck yet because
No,
they
he
don't
can
have a
drive the
license.
test. No, he can drive the truck to the test.
Without a CDL?
Yeah,
Where's he
because you have a permit.
You did,
As long as you have a licensed driver with you, a CDL licensed driver with you.
Okay, yeah.
Funky test.
Yeah, but yeah, there's, just a food for thought, the state of New Hampshire has no qualms with, insurance reasons or any of that stuff, allowing its employees, even if that person is not required to have a CDL for their position, they encourage even office staff, if they want to get their CDL, to take the class, get their CDL, that way they have the extra help in the wintertime. They have this program where you can sign up to help plow in the wintertime, and they incentivize those people with bonuses for plowing through the wintertime. But either way, yeah, they allow people to take their trucks.
Okay, well, I do know the individual has, taken all the, coursework
Yeah.
that he needed to.
And then when it comes to a med card, and I've done it many times, it's always been the employee's responsibility to pay for the med card. You make the appointment, whether it be at Lowe's Energy Care, or with, if you have a physician who's an ICC, physician, who does ICC physicals.
Yeah.
From what I understand, I've never heard of an employer that will pay for your med card physical, but maybe there are, I don't know if the town does it.
I can't answer that one.
But yeah, the longest is 2 years if you're healthy, but if you have certain things, like I wear a CPAP, so I have to go every year, or I have to go every year, but they're like, if you've got other ailments, you could be restricted to 6 months or even down as little as 3 months.
That's what Eric said, yes.
But yeah, just my input. I myself as a taxpayer, I don't see any issues with allowing a town employee using the truck for 3 hours to go to Twin take a test and come back. As long as they're gonna help with whether it be driving recyclables to Berlin, or snow removal in the winter, or helping with a plow route whenever it need be, or whatever the reason might be, whether hauling, helping with a project in the summertime, anything.
We'll table it for now. That was the agreement, so we will move ahead.
So Wayne made a motion, does anybody gonna second it and approve it, or do you want to?
Make a motion, we table it.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor of tabling, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. Okay, that takes care of that. D.
I can't read your mind.
Thank you.
Okay. This is a thank thank you letter. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Feller, on behalf of the town of Northumberland, we wish to express our gratitude for the very generous donation you made to the meeting house. Your generosity is recognized and greatly appreciated. Thank you respectively, Town of Northumberland Select Board. And it's for the three of us to sign, and the generous donation that was made was $150 on the visit they made to the meeting house. So,
I make a motion that we sign.
okay.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, motions are made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. I don't think we very often get donations of that size.
Not that size, no.
Or even just a thank you letter.
Oh. This is for the new health officer.
Yes.
Okay.
So we found out after the fact that the state has decided that they want additional forms that we were not aware of. So we had to fill out more forms and come back to you and request that you sign them.
Okay. So this is just to satisfy the state for stuff we've already done.
I make a
And they
motion
won't
that
approve.
we sign the form to satisfy the state.
Okay.
So we do have a health officer now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, because I'm working on an EMI right now, I need that information.
We just have to, this form needs to be submitted back
Yeah.
to the state with all the signatures
Well,
on
I
it.
just happen to be
We've
working.
already done the appointment paperwork,
Good, that's what I
but the
was
state came back to us and said,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we have our own form and here you
Oh,
go.
yeah, it's funny, it's like what I'm doing now for the state again.
And the lady who we were supposed to be dealing with has been on military leave.
Mm.
So that's thrown another wrench in the whole process.
Okay.
Thank her
Motion,
for her service, but
motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No one. I think you have a memorandum.
Yeah.
Yeah. They needed so much room to sign.
Well, we'll blur them all together.
That's good.
It's going to the state, they don't have to look at it.
They're looking at everything now, Al. They're looking at everything.
For you, they look at everything.
Yeah, they sure are.
And the feds look for you too.
And you
It
get
must
one-
be interesting to have two separate targets, one for the state and one for the fed.
Yeah, it's great.
Or do they overlap?
One reports to the other.
Yeah.
They're all trying to justify their jobs.
Okay. Rangers Fort. This is from, Mr. Ayer. As the town is promoting the meeting house in Fort Wentworth on their website for the nation's 250th anniversary, I would allow them and the public at the same time to utilize the monuments for Fort Wentworth. The dates would be June 27th to July 12th. During that time, my second driveway near the cemetery would be open for people for overflow parking. The driveway is for the house and barn would not be part of this and would be off limits. Because of the close relationship between the meeting house and the fort, I would request the town add me as additional insured for the dates above. I normally don't allow people access to my property, but with this being a special national celebration, I feel it is appropriate. And is this adding him to ours, or?
so I'm not sure what that is that you have. I've been speaking with Primex and I have an email from Primex. We discussed it more today. And Primex, basically, when we asked them to cover the softball tournament, that's not a problem. It's on town property, it's town cause, not a problem. If we are to hold something on private property, and I'm just gonna use this as an example, like a music festival, one-day music festival, you know, all of the town employees are there working it, it's a town-sponsored event, that type of thing. Primex is willing to cover it. But for something that is a week long on private property that is not gonna be, you know, overseen by town employees, Primex said that, by state law and regulation, they can only provide coverage to the members, which means they would not be able to provide additional insurance coverage through our insurance. Now, maybe his insurance came back with something that,
Dan, go ahead.
You guys, town, you ask people to do all the paperwork, all those paperwork. I'm not asking any special favors. The meeting house people who you employ want you to give tours over here and stuff. This is the 250th anniversary. And technicalities and stuff like this, Primex won't pull on this. But you enforce on everyone else, your own memorandum, your own rules.
Mhm.
So, if the town employee walks over there during a tour, he's part of the meeting house in town thing. So, for the museum.
Correct.
So, for 250, if they want to try technicalities like this, I'm not charging anything, it's my goodwill. It's my good love, I have a labor love for history, for this property. And you guys work with me, or work with me, I don't have to let you guys on it, legally. And I showed you proof of insurance, I maintain insurance in the place. But for the history and stuff of this town, I feel it's important for the 250th.
So, Rob, nobody'd be going over there without one of you guys escorting them?
We could, yeah, but I don't know whether Paul would go with.
There's only one.
Paul has trouble walking, that's the problem.
Right, and we
Okay,
only-
that's a long walk.
Yeah, right, and I was hoping that I could volunteer Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and do my regular shift. Get paid Thursday and Saturday, them 2 weeks, so that we could have it open if people come over there. That would be a big plus for the meeting house, a real big plus for the meeting house. And I'm willing to volunteer them 6 days.
Cover it all.
if, I mean, I can go back to them, and they did mention something about if the town was willing to enter into an MOU, where, between the landowner and, town staff from the meeting house, that somebody from the town would be directing these tours of the property.
Well, Paul can't do them, that only leaves Rob to
Just
do
me.
it. That's a bit much, and I mean, we can't do it without insurance coverage.
Right, and we have to schedule tour times too. We can't
Yeah.
just have, you know, Rob leaves with 4 people, and then another one comes in, and, you know,
Yeah.
now what do they do, try to catch up? Sounds like a can of worms to me.
Probably is.
It says, he says,
Memorandum of understanding.
yeah, unfortunately, Primex is not able to extend the town's liability coverage for residents to tour on private property, as we discussed this afternoon. By state law and regulation, we can only provide primary coverage to our members. Primex can only provide additional insured status at a reduced sublimit for the sole negligent acts of our members when they host a one-day event on third-party premises. The event, as described, does not meet those requirements.
So it would only cover the employee anyways, correct?
So it would, if it was like a mass gathering for a town event on private property, that would be one thing. Because it's one day, you're gonna have police, you're gonna have fire, you're gonna have EMS, you're gonna have town staff there to tend to the property. That's how they can get away with it. That's how we would be able to have it insured being private property. I mean, I can go back to them and talk to them some more.
And I get the plan, I'll show you, well, I'll see what's in that.
Well, the problem is, if we can't get that,
No, while I'm here.
yeah,
I came over here to this
Go ahead.
meeting, so I have all things in my own personal life and stuff.
okay, good.
So what if, this is the meeting house right there.
Yeah.
I have a gate right there.
Yeah.
I'll take States, purple thing, mow an area for parking, and you walk down the left side, the monument will be there. The third monument, and then you walk back. I'm planning on putting a flagpole with a light on it, that we live with a 2-week period plus more.
Now, we've gotta find out if we can insure it. If we can't insure it, because we're gonna be the first ones sued.
No, I'm not charging you money, there's a lot of loopholes up in there too. But you guys enforce a policy, so all this has to say memorandum. The insurance companies, all that loopholes and stuff, my insurance company will plow it. But we're gonna have people come out, me knows, I actually just insured. Chances of anything happening, it's pretty no. There's no what if.
Right? That's the what if we need to know. Talk to them and see what you can find out some more.
Thank you.
Right away.
You're not gonna, if this starts June 27th, is that the date?
Yeah.
You're not having your next select board meeting till the 6th.
They're right, we would, if we come up with it, if they, Primex gives us something, we can call another meeting. All we need is 24 hours notification.
Or you can make a non-binding vote here tonight, and allow the thing to issue it.
We can do a piece of to the three of us. Aye, yes, or no. You know, I think we can get it done, but, you know, we would be insuring a private property and.
Only on the designated area.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you. Chances are damn near zero. But this is the most sue-happy country on the planet, and so, you know, if.
How many trips and
You don't have to, and would have.
Subject to, if the motion gets made, it has to be along the lines of, this would be approved, subject to our getting, insurance coverage. For it, without that, we can't take the chance. Yeah.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve this request, if we can get insurance coverage that suits us. Put this out.
I second that.
Anything out there? Okay, motion's been made and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody, so. If we get a yes from the insurance company between now and the 27th, it's a go. If they give us another no, that there's not any way in God's creation that they can do it, it's a no.
I understand.
Okay? Okay, zoning permits. First one, map and lot 107-118-00-00. And this is, who is it? Andrea Sargent and Melanie Whitney, 14 Summer Street. What the heck are you doing? Okay. Installation of one pre-manufactured lofted barn storage shed measuring 10 feet by 16 feet on lot 118. The shed will be used for residential purposes only and will not contain plumbing, sewer, electric, or living quarters. The structure is proposed to be located in the rear side yard as shown on attached. Oh, whatever the heck that is. Looks like POT map.
Good.
And will comply with all applicable town and Northumberland setback requirements and zoning regulations of village residential, high, moderate, density zone. Okay, after all that, you've signed it.
Yeah, I went over with Rami and all the setbacks were good and.
They paid the fee. So we're good to go with that, based on what they're saying.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next one is map and lot 107-15. Quasar Wave NH LLC, 156 Mechanic Street.
This is basically a renewal of a permit that they pulled well over a year ago, and they didn't renew it, so they're putting it up.
Yeah, the last permit was in 2024. Construction of original permit, phase 2 still needs to be completed. So, whatever they were doing then. Oh, there we go. Okay, solar alert.
I make a motion to approve.
And they paid their fee, so motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nobody. Whoops. Next one is map and lot 247-002-06-00. David and Sandy Soroy, Shelley Lane.
Right, I've met with these people, have gone over the location of it, and all the setbacks are done, and it looks like they're gonna do a good job.
Okay, they want to put up a new stick home build with timber frame accents, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, approximately 2,000 square feet. They paid the fee for the,
Water.
We can't hear because
You got conversations going on everywhere.
they paid the fee, the expensive fee for this one, because it's going to increase the value of the property considerably.
I make a
So,
motion to approve.
I'll second that.
okay, motions are made and seconded. Chuck?
Question, do you have on your permits, do you have a start time on permits and how long they're good for? In other words, the construction have to start within 180 days, be completed within a year, which is customary in most.
Now, when we sign a permit, that's a start date,
Right,
and then,
Ends on March 31st, 2027.
right, and
Yeah,
then
which
by
is
us, if they contact us, they get another year for no charge.
right.
But there's nothing in this, any place that says you have to start within X number of days of this being signed.
Okay,
So-
so there's no start point.
There's no start point other than the thing starts today, basically. And then they can start building anytime after that.
Yeah.
At whenever that, or who the heck's the guy that's doing it? Bruce Anderson. Anderson Construction,
I believe he's in Littleton.
okay? He's the guy that's gonna be building the house.
And when these get finished, when these permits that we give out get finished, what happens to that permit? Does it get stamped, finished, put into an archive somewhere?
It gets sent to the assessor, and they go over and check and put it on the tax roll.
And then somewhere, somebody in your department actually
Yep.
looks to see whether or not that permit that we gave them is for what they did, what they said they would do.
We do not require an as-built.
No, I realize that. That wasn't my question. My question was, does someone actually see that we gave them a permit, put in 5 windows and they put in 27? Do we check to see that the permit, what was executed was what was permitted?
No, they don't. In
They
fact,
don't.
this one here, even if they did that, it says for a stick-built, home, timber frame, accents, 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, about 2,000, square feet. Nobody's gonna go over and check to see, are there just 3 bedrooms or did they sneak a 4th one in?
Which, well, tax assessor will take care of that.
Tax assessor takes care of that one.
And
So-
the only other question I have is, what about a certificate of occupancy? Who does that now?
We
We
don't,
don't have one.
we do not have a building,
I realize we
building
don't, the
inspector.
state requires an occupancy permit.
If you pull a building permit. This is not a
No,
building.
the state requires one, period, occupancy permit on a new house.
It's up to the homeowner to go.
And homeowners are responsible, but if it is not done, then at some point, the state fire marshal can actually be stepped in to look at this. whether or not they meet occupancy requirements. And I mean, that is an RSA, state RSA, and I will dig that out and I will give it to someone, send it to someone. But it is a state RSA that it has a occupancy certificate on record.
So that would require all inspections?
That is true, it does require inspection, and if we don't have an inspector, then we can then go back to the state fire marshal that will see that one gets done. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes for perfectly affordable housing, doesn't it?
It doesn't make a lot of sense, but those are the rules, and I'm just asking.
Well, you said it right there, those are the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, we don't do anything, what we're doing, we signed this, we've got our money to tell the assessor to come over and look at it, and that's where we're done. Because we had building permits, and then Andre, who is that guy from the, state fire marshal, Frank something or other?
It's not Frank.
Anyway, come up and, cause we were leaving ourselves open to liability, as I discussed before, and so we just renamed it.
Well, you didn't rename it because the state of New Hampshire does have that little thing in there that says, we did this and it was approved, that we could go to a zoning permit, which, because we do not have a inspector or
There was a
anything else.
loophole there.
There was a loophole.
We snuck in it.
You did, and you did well, but there are some other things that
There aren't loopholes.
they're not loopholes, and I've been looking into this for a couple of years now, because I was concerned with our liability on not performing any type of inspection on quality of work or code violations, which we don't do anymore, and we got out of it. But nevertheless, there is a problem with that whole thing, and it's called a certificate
Yeah,
of
send me that
occupancy.
information, because if we have to require that, let's take this house, that they have to have a certificate of occupancy, that means that they need to know this right now, because they're gonna need a footing inspection, a foundation inspection,
I don't know anything about that, but it does require, at the certificate of occupancy, at the time, someone will go in and inspect it.
It is the homeowner's
It
responsibility
truly is.
to contact a licensed individual or company that is licensed to do these inspections.
But you're right, and
It does not
without
follow
a,
the town, it falls on the homeowner.
but without a certificate of occupancy, they cannot move into the house. That is a state law. So we go.
Did you have one?
No.
Did I have one?
No, of course you don't. That doesn't make it right now. What I'm saying, I've been looking into this because of all the other shenanigans that we've been going through, and that is a law.
I don't tell on you, you don't tell on me.
The lien holder will make them get one.
That's correct.
And I do know that particular place.
Well, if you get us the RSA, we appreciate it, Chuck, we'll take a look and see, and if we need to, talk to the fire marshal.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me,
It
but
doesn't.
I've been researching this, and it's like, what's this all
Yeah, I'm from the government, I'm here to help.
about?
Thanks, you give me that stuff, and I'd like to know about it, because, we gotta provide this information to the people if it's something we're supposed to be doing or not.
Okay, and this one
It's
is
in the
the
one
motion.
fifty-five.
Beg pardon?
155.
It is 155.
There's
Can
a
you see
lot
it?
of them though.
There's a whole big thing of it, about 14 pages, and it's there.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay,
I'll second that.
motions are made, seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nobody. And we will get the other stuff and find out.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is map and lot 229-048, Dana DuBois, Lancaster Road. Woodshed over outdoor boiler, 20 by 24 feet, 43 feet from road, 18 feet from house.
I stopped over and talked to the daughter.
Yeah.
And, they went over and talked to Rami. Andre had some, stuff that was required by code. Rami, you did run that code stuff by them when, yep, so. I make a motion to approve.
Some pictures.
Is that similar to what the, Methodist Church had around theirs?
It's like a lean-to with a woodshed and
It's got,
yeah,
But it's got, and it's got insulation
Oh,
inside.
no, we didn't have any insulation.
See, that was the illegal part of the church.
We don't have
You
it.
need
We don't
that.
have that anymore.
You need that because, so you don't burn your head down.
Well, not installation of fireproof items.
Well, it's an insulation to kind of keep it from, getting to the wood. Yeah. So, okay, the thing's been paid, so need a motion for this.
motion to approve.
Motion's been made and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. And I don't think it's gonna have water and sewer at it.
No, it didn't look like it when I looked at it. Not much privacy if it did.
Yeah. Okay, now this one just came in today, and question number one first is do we wanna do it?
I think that we have some issues relative to the valuation of the appraised increase in property values. I'd recommend we table it for now.
Okay? You agree? This one here is, the one we're talking about, Becky, is 215-001-00-00. Gifford Larry Hammond. 36 by 72 by 18 concrete footings, 13.22 acre, not located close to any setbacks, location back in woodlands. So, solar panel for lights. Building will be a 35.7, 35 foot 7 inch by 60 foot Quonset hut for tractors and
I couldn't read it either.
I got no clue what that word is. No grid connections, about 30 solar panels for Quonset house backup.
And we haven't looked at it, we haven't, Alan.
You haven't looked at it or anything, and with all that stuff being built and the Quonset hut, I would expect the valuation on that to go up by about 50 grand.
Or more.
On something of that size, but it wasn't at that fee, so let's wait, see, and we'll take it up on, the next one.
We have to table it, or we can,
I think I made a motion.
Yeah,
okay, I'll second.
okay. Motion's been made and seconded to table until,
The next meeting.
July 6th, the next meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. Okay. That one's done. Now, we've got, this all one? This is all one. Elderly exemption, map and lot is 229. What's the devil? 229-025-MH-25. Okay. Taxpayer qualifies to receive the elderly exemption based on income and asset limits. Recommend approval.
We meet all the requirements and make a motion to approve.
So we do. Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nobody.
Is it NH, no, it's a mobile phone?
That's the only thing I can guess
Yeah.
that the MH stands for. Wait a minute, where is? It is, okay.
Okay, Spanish.
So. next one, abatement request. This is an abatement in the amount of $325 for mapping lot 205-011-00-00. In order for the town to bill the other 20% owners on this property, the software requires us to bill the town's 80%. This abates the 80%. This, I think, is for that property on 3 North, going out there, over near the wells.
Yes, the
Okay.
town is one of 13.
I need a motion.
Ronnie, just, you looked over this? I remember that there was a number of
The town
owners of
acquired a
property.
number of
Yeah.
years ago from Lyman Town.
Yeah,
I make a motion to approve.
we've been doing this one for a number of years.
Yeah.
Okay, motions are made and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. Okay, mapping lot 205-009-00-00. Okay, amount of the abatement, $159. Another one?
I believe it's that same piece of property, but it's divided by railroad tracks, so it's
Technically different.
If you divide
Okay.
it with a railroad track, yes.
In order for the town to bill the other 20% owners on this property, the software requires us to bill the town's 80%. This abates the 80%.
I make a motion to grant the abatement.
Okay, motions are made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. Let's see if this will be different.
Wayne?
Okay. This one is mapping lot 105-010-00-00. Amount $159. Abate the first 2025 first issue tax bill with interest because it was included in the initial repurchase that was paid.
They were in here talking about it.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the abatement.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, motions are made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. And that's the second or third time that the software has done that.
Takes a computer to do it right.
Public comment. Okay, DB. Dan, go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna try to stay simple, but I gave up a long time ago. I believe in this town for the history and stuff. So, read that right there.
40-foot right-of-way along top of bank to cemetery.
Is a deeded access to the town right here along the access for second driveways. Alan, he, 1966,
Okay.
gave the town 7 acres of the,
Where the new cemetery, the new part of the cemetery is, yeah.
historical committee, needed to pick out 3 monuments, 2 at the museum and 1 out on the point. So, you can tell the insurance company, that road, you have a deeded easement. I gave it to the cemetery trustees and stuff, I acknowledge and stuff. So they're saying it's all private property, it's not, there's an easement involved. Recorded history.
Okay, the easement, though, doesn't go back to the monument.
Right.
That's where the people will be going, but we do have an
And then the
easement
boys?
where the parking area is.
The boys,
The boys.
at the museum, they do all
Okay.
the work in history. They already told me they would promote it.
Yeah.
I'm only doing certain set hours.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
And all that, all the things out there, you need to put that all right. This is our 150th anniversary. We're gonna stop believing in ourselves. We're not gonna believe in ourselves, this country's lost.
okay, got it.
sent them another email already,
Okay,
but I will follow up with.
you were second, go for it, Kathy.
Alright, so once you do this, come here.
Yep.
This is just my request, I haven't noticed any yet, but could we check to make sure all our town flags are in good shape?
They've all been replaced. They've all been replaced.
Every single one has been replaced between the cemeteries and anywhere that the town owns in town.
Good showing,
Okay.
that's all.
They're done before Memorial Day every year, Kathy.
Oh, you're a good woman.
I have a good town crew that make sure that they all get changed out for.
Trying to say that.
Not like that transfer station a few years ago.
They have a new one up there this year.
Okay, anybody else? Eric?
Last meeting, we talked about the graffiti on the bridge, and we're gonna find out if it was lead paint, if we could cover it up. Have we found any progress on that?
Yep.
So I went out one day last week, when it was warm, and
Wednesday.
with Keith Knapp from the water department, because taller than me, I have short girl problems, so I asked him for help. We did test using a test kit that I picked up at Abishon's, and actually out of all 12 swabs, only one actually really reacted, but I don't know if it reacted because it was the metal from the bolt that it reacted to, or the paint. But any of the other paint that we tested did not react. The only other test strip that gave a vague reaction was literally when I stuffed it into a crack in one of the large beams and left it there for the 2 minutes and not just swabbing it up and down like it said you're supposed to. That's the only other one that reacted even slightly. All of the other paint that we tested did not show lead in it. The following day, I had a meeting with FEMA about several projects, and I asked FEMA to please get me in contact with somebody at the state level who could do, a more proper, more extensive lead test to see what we were looking at, and I have not heard back from them. But where the graffiti is, Kilns makes a spray paint that we don't have to, it's not gonna affect anything, we can just, I've used it in construction before, we can use it as a cover-up, it's a spray paint, we don't have to worry about it. So, we're gonna look at doing that, but I was waiting to see if we got anybody from the state to contact you back, but I have not heard.
We don't have to sand it or scrape it or anything, just.
Yeah, just cover
it.
it.
Just spray over it.
And to give you an idea, the old car wash behind the town office, okay, that was checked for asbestos and lead, and the cost for that was $1,200. No?
No, this is for you. I sent you guys all an email today. I wanted you to get it tonight, because I just
Yeah, I got it with me.
It was $15,000 for the asbestos removal.
That's for the removal.
Yep.
And that was.
$1,200 for the testing.
$1,200 for the testing, and that also includes the tear down, didn't it? Or is that
No.
on top of the tear down?
24,800 is the total.
Okay. It ain't cheap.
I never said it was cheap, but, that bridge is horrible looking in it.
Yeah.
It's friggin' I've lived here over 10 years and I've been complaining about it
Yeah.
for quite a while.
We get in trouble if we knock any in there, but if nature does it, it's okay, into the river.
Yeah, I never understand that.
No.
Pollution's pollution, right?
But in talking with FEMA, I did let them know that the bridge and the train were projects that we wanted to look at doing. It's not necessarily a FEMA thing, but they can put me in touch with other people, like getting the testing for the lead done, because I told them that we also wanted to have the train tested for asbestos and lead as well. I'm just waiting to hear back. Unfortunately, it's FEMA.
Did asbestos removal include disposal
Yes.
at it's. yes,
$15,000 for the roof that's asbestos over there.
Removal and disposal.
Removal and disposal.
That includes
Now, the
that protection.
deconstruction and all that is another $8,700. The total's gonna be 24,800 using our account at the landfill. So to get rid of that bill was $24,800. And that was a gift that we got a long time ago.
Might have been 1,200.
Some gifts.
From the asbestos and lead.
And they covered it.
And it's the
And
one.
then, of course, now it's
Yeah.
lives itself, so now we
For
gotta,
this stuff, so
Yeah.
if you don't get somebody from there, you could ask them how much would they charge. With the paint.
but I didn't know that
Yeah.
we, they
That's
got
right.
$100 now.
We could see,
Pay $12 for more than that.
I know,
I'm sure this is gonna be more in depth.
yes. So, okay, Deb,
I have a question, from Michelle. About a month ago, Jim asked you to check Courtney Perkins' storage unit to see if there was anything in there that the town could use. What did you find out?
I have not been able to get back to that, to do that. I was under the impression that the storage unit was gone, but the storage unit isn't gone. I have not gotten around to making contact with her again to, find out what that is. So, I
So
will,
will you?
yes ma'am, I will.
And she doesn't have to let you in.
No, she doesn't, but I can ask
I
her.
thought that was brought up at the meeting so the town could find out what was in there. No?
It's
Her storage.
It's her storage unit, she does not have to let me into it. I can ask her, and I will,
private property.
I will, certainly ask and see what's
Well, I
there.
thought at the that meeting, and I'm just curious because I thought she was storing town property. And that's why you asked Michelle to look to see if there was something we could use.
We can ask her if she will let us look, but, we can't compel it. So it's like, okay, if she has, you weren't able to reach, Courtney before?
I have spoken with her only one time, and like I said, I'm getting conflicting, I'm not sure if the storage unit is still there, or if the storage unit is no longer a thing. I don't wanna speak out of turn, because I don't have the correct information. So, let me contact her and I will find out.
Anybody else? Nope, okay. Announcements, transfer station will be closed Saturday, July 4th, 2026.
And the town library will be closed Saturday, July.
That's not on my list.
I'm telling you now. I'm not gonna be there.
Okay, next board meeting is, July 6th, 2026, here at 6 p.m. Okay. Now, Kyle, go ahead.
Does the fire department have to fill up small swimming pools for residents and all?
No,
No,
Okay. That is all.
there is an ordinance on that one.
yeah. I believe the only way they could is if they've got a meter on the end of the hose.
No, we said we would not allow it, they can't do it because of insurance purposes,
Okay,
so we're out of the business.
Well, I told them I would ask, but years ago, the answer was our insurance didn't allow us, but that was before we had Primex, that was when we were in the precinct, but things have changed. So I figured I would re-ask the question. I didn't know I didn't know there was an ordinance about it.
I'm sure they asked it every
well,
year.
there would be, if the insurance allows you to do it, then the other thing you need is a meter on the end of your hose, so we know how much water to bill to the individuals there. Otherwise, you can do like I do when I've gotta add water to my pool.
Right.
It's a 3/4 inch hose,
Right.
it's hooked up to the outside, it's stuck in.
And that's what we just used to fill the town pool.
A 3/4 inch hose?
4 of them.
Four.
Took 4 days.
I was gonna say, that's a big pool.
Think about it, it's better to do that than to do surges and call cause quality complaints and everything else.
Yep.
We have a 2.5 inch hose at the fire station that has we bought an expensive big meter for it that's able to meter.
Yep.
2.5 inches of water.
So that's what you use to fill up your tankers, you keeping track of that? Tanker.
Yeah. So I figured, Kylo was asked the question why the fire department wouldn't do it, so he asked me, so I kind of gave him an explanation as to why we didn't, from what I was told from past, from what I was relayed, but I figured I would re-ask the question. Just
Yeah, you hadn't asked it as far as I know since you came under the town.
Right.
Yeah. But
You know, what happened with that is that one day I came out of work, I got out of work and there was a Stratford tanker truck, Lancaster tanker truck at my fire hydrant on my pavement up there filling the truck. And I said, who gave you permission for that? The water department. I says, that's funny, I'm the supervisor. That was the end of that.
Yeah, I know. I remember that one.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, I get it, but everybody just went that way and they filled it up and it's better for the whole system.
So, anyway, if your insurance is okay with it, the town's insurance is okay with it, Reggie's okay with it, then you could, but until we get definite approval that insurance will cover it in case you damage that pool.
Right, well, it's not just the pool, it's like, backing a heavy truck carrying 2,000 gallons of water over somebody's lawn, and you happen to find the one spot where their septic is that's been there for 50 years.
And that's funny that we took the ordinance out.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things that could happen, that's why it would be a question you could ask Primex, and, all this conversation about Primex is the perfect time for Michelle to ask yet another question.
Private property.
Which I supposedly all these other towns that do it have the same insurance, and they say that they can do it, but whether or not they're actually asking, I don't know, but.
Yeah, whether they're actually telling their insurance company they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, if Primex is willing to allow us to do it, then the next question would be how much is it per gallon, per thousand?
It's $8 per thousand?
It's $8 this summer.
Yep.
No promises for next summer.
So then I guess the next question also would be like, is the town wanting to charge for fuel when the fireman's time was donated?
You're getting into a big can of worms there.
You're getting into a big can of worms, but at the same time.
And again, we had an ordinance on this.
The answer to your question would be yes. If the firemen, when they're doing this, would be on the clock, just like they would be if they were called out, then yes, that has to be picked up as part of the cost. Rough guess, if you're burning 1 gallon of fuel for every 2 miles you drive, then yes, fuel charge would be on there. It's still going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be cheaper, but it's probably going to be more convenient and a hell of a lot faster than the 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch off your outdoor spigot to fill up a pool. What?
Unless you get a pool. And then somebody can answer all the water.
Even before the water pressure drops big time from just my two, and even when I ran a third one from my neighbor's house with his permission, and I paid his water bill that he got for the next whole quarter, it still took me almost 2 days to fill up the pool one time.
So you didn't swim for 2 days?
Yeah, but those were the hot 2 days.
I call it plan ahead.
Okay, anything else? If not, need a motion to go into non-pub.
Second it.
Hey, motion's been made and seconded.